First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win.
Gandhi said this. It was merely a revamp of Schopenhauer, who said, of truth, all truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. If you look back in history, this is absolutely true. People killed each other over whether the earth was round or flat, until the number of those believing it to be round reached the tipping point where it then became self-evident.
You see the insanity every day. You know you do, and you think, geez, has the world gone crazy? You're seeing the truth. But then you deny it, turning it around onto yourself. No, it must be me. That's the big mistake. It's not you. The world is crazy, backwards, inverted, insane. Even an army of psychiatrists couldn't help fix the problem. Mainly because most of the time they're in need of help from their own professions.
This is why a bird born in a cage thinks flying is an illness. And that's exactly what has happened to us. Just look around at the insane backwards world we live in.
We have doctors supposedly healing the sick when the biggest killer in the United States is the treatment.
We respond to cancer by killing the patient with chemotherapy and radiation, which destroys the immune system and opens the door to even more cancer and much else.
We have vaccines allegedly boosting the immune system when they are actually destroying it.
We have scientists telling us how everything works when they don't have a clue about the true nature of reality and thus no clue about how everything works.
We have teachers telling children and young people whatever our insane and ignorant system dictates, no matter how flawed and fraudulent it may be.
Christian fundamentalists are outraged at the amount of violence, sex, undead vampires and other horrific themes seen in movies, books and video games, yet hold all of their faith in a book filled with these exact themes and centering around a man who dies and comes back from the dead.
They also line up to eat his body and drink his blood, so...
We believe we live lives based on morality in a world full of denial, fear, lies, hypocrisy, ulterior motives and secrecy.
Morality is a social construct based on the popular opinions of a society. Act accordingly.
Rather than understand and show compassion for drug addicts, they are hypocritically shamed and demonized by a society that is heavily medicated on legal drugs that have a much higher death count than illegal drugs.
We have political parties competing for office when behind the scenes all are controlled by the same force, which is why the same agenda unfolds no matter who is officially in government. Some chemical-free food and drinks, such as raw milk, are illegal, yet actual poison, like those found in the pesticides sprayed on food crops, are legal. Also, we have genetically modified food that is genetically modifying us, and yet most people never even consider the possibility or the implications. We rely on a Federal Drug Administration to tell us what is healthy for us when it doesn't even test what it approves. For a medication to be approved, the FDA relies on testing done by the same pharmaceutical company that makes the medication. We have a media with no idea what is going on in the world telling us what is going on in the world. Fake news has taken the place of real news. We have our freedoms constantly deleted to protect our freedoms. If a man pretends to be a woman, we are required to pretend with him. If a child believes he is the opposite sex, parents encourage it by feeding him or her hormones, while some are even willing to surgically modify their own child's genitals, even before puberty. Russians influencing our elections are bad, but illegal Mexicans voting in our elections are good. It was cool for Joe Biden to blackmail the president of Ukraine, but it was an impeachable offense if President Trump inquired about it. Drug addicts are shamed and stigmatized by a society that is way more heavily medicated. Prescription medications are responsible for over 100,000 deaths per year, yet doctors continue to push them onto us. Around 88,000 Americans had heart attacks from taking Vioxx, while 38,000 of them died before it was taken off the market after 5 years. Actors are paid millions of dollars for one movie when restaurant servers and waiters, who are the best actors, putting on a smile while dealing with incompetent and entitled assholes all day, are paid minimum wage. 20 is too young to drink a beer and smoke a cigarette, but 18 is old enough to vote. People who have never owned slaves should pay slavery reparations to people who have never been slaves and who also helped to destroy any history or proof of there being slavery. People who have never been to college should pay the debts of college students who took out huge loans for useless degrees. $5 billion for border security is too expensive, but $1.5 trillion for free healthcare is not. If you cheat to get into college, you go to prison, but if you cheat to get into the country, you go to college for free. We see other countries going socialist and collapsing, and it seems like a great plan to us. College students and leaders of current mass movements are calling themselves Marxists when they don't know anything about Marxism, communism, or how nearly 100 million people were killed under Stalin and Mao's communist regimes. Some people are held responsible for things that happened before they were born, and other people are not held responsible for what they are doing right now. Criminals are catch and release to hurt more people, but stopping them is bad because it's a violation of their rights. And pointing out all this hypocrisy somehow makes us racists, crazy, insane, or mentally ill. Yes, this is the world we have created. Let's fucking fix it.